Good morning, everyone. My name is Ding Hua Chai, and my normal metric is S6356, and my supervisor is the Dr. Lok Keng. Today, I will present my FYP and final year project, and my final year project title is Sustainability in Port Development at North Butterworth Container Terminal and BCT at the Pulau Pinang.
The next we go to the research background. This research investigate the sustainability development of North Butterworth Container Terminal (NBCT) in Penang, Malaysia. Port are a critical node in global trade, facility cargo handling, storage, and transport throughout the various multimodal connection. Effective port management led by the port authorities involve the coordinating operation, maintenance infrastructure, ensuring the safety, and providing the support service like marketing and waste management. Sustainability as a defined by the Bandar Report 1987 focus on balancing the environmental, social, and economic factor to safeguard the future generation. In the maritime sector, this including adopting a digital solution, optimizing the logistic, and using an eco-friendly technology. MBCT strategy location along the busy Malacca Strait position is a key transshipment hub. Its modern infrastructure, including the key crane, refrigerator, container yard, and the and the and the seamless road and rail connectivity support it role in the region trade.
The next is the problem statement. The North Butterworth Container Terminal (NBCT) facing the challenging driving by the rising container traffic, necessitating improvement in the processing efficiency, storage, management, and customer operation, economy contributions such as a job creation and the community benefit also require evaluation and enhancement. Further, environmental sustainability past possess critical concerns with a need to reduce the carbon emission, managing the vessel, and adopting the eco-friendly technology. Overcoming these challenges is essential for the MBCT long-term growth and align with the global sustainability goal.
The next is a research objective and research question. The first is to explore the current efficiency and MBCT port operation. The second is what is the economy and social sustainability practice currently implemented at the North Butterworth Container Terminal. Research objective is the first is research objective is the analyze the port operation at the North Butterworth Container Terminal Pulau Pinang. The second is identify the sustainability development in port operation North Butterworth Container Terminal Pulau Pinang. The next is the literature review, overview and infrastructure in the North Butterworth Container Terminal according to Penang Port 2024. This North Butterworth Container Terminal (NBCT) built in the Butterworth, Penang, Malaysia is a key part of the Penang Port operation built in the collaboration with the Gamuda Berhad in the early 1919 with the 1,500-meter draft and deep range from the 11 to the 12 meter is accommodate the largest vessel. MBCT has annually capacity of 2 billion TEUs, support by the 13 gantry and gantry crane and a 8 rail mountain crane along the 7104 container yard slot and 1,000 referral plug point is become a free commercial zone (FCZ) in the 2021, facilitating the tax-free storage and value-added service for the international trade. Recent upgrade, including the bird reinforcement, ensure the modern infrastructure for increasement volume. The service expansion and the future plan. MBCT handle the container loading and unloading transshipment for the various cargo type, including a reefer unit, offering the logistic support and the customer care. It survived nearly 13 shipping line linking to the North Malaysia and South Thailand to global market. The terminal is set for the 2.2 billion expansion to meet the rising cargo demand with the plan to increasing the crane slide from the 2.2 billion up to the 4.1 million TEU by the 2045 years 45 2045. Investment in IT, including a face recognition system and the new equipment upgrade, are also prioritized, and container throughput growth by the 11.05% from the 2002 to the 2004 to the 2024, highlight the terminal is the busy and competitive operation in the Penang port. The next is container port operation for other. Container terminal operation is involved the cargo handling, logistics, and port management significantly impact the regional economy and the global supply chain. Port handling high cargo value like Port of Singapore contribute to job creation and economic growth throughout the direct and indirect employment. And the largest container vessel offer the cost advantage, promoting the port to the upgrade infrastructure to accommodate the mega vessel. And investment in the deep berth and the automation as in the Tuas Tuas Port and the Port of Los Angeles, enhancing the efficiency for the Rodrigo 2022 and the Berhan 2023. Safety and security is essential due to the high operation risk with the protocol or adopting the advanced technology emergency protocol to safeguard operation. Technology advancement, including the automation, blockchain, and AI power system, have improving the cargo handling, reduce the cost, and reduce the high operation risk, and enhance the coordinating among the stakeholder. Leading the port like Rotterdam and Singapore are pioneers in the smart port technology, boosting efficiency and sustainability. The sustainability development North Butterworth Container Terminal. Sustainability development at the North Butterworth Container Terminal (MBCT) in Penang requires the intelligent economic, operational, social strategy, economical. MBCT can boost the regional growth and adopting the digitalization, automation, and fostering collaboration with the local supplier and logistic firm to workforce development and program equitable trade and policy future support economic sustainability. Operationally efficiency can be enhanced through the investment in the electrical crane, automated system, and the green technology like shore power system and the solar energy digital platform from the cargo management and the partnership with the shipping company with the further optimize the operation. Socially, engagement with the local community, providing the employment and improving the infrastructure are essential. Noising, pollution control along the way the CSR initiatives like education, campaign, and the community project will ensure the positive social impact. Disadvantage of the literature review. The first is the insufficient depth. Current depth only 11 until 12 meter limit capacity for the largest vessel. The second disadvantage is the capacity constraint. 2 million TEU capacity may be insufficient for the growing demands. The next is the updated equipment and financial pressure. High cost upgrading the technology and the maintenance equipment. And the fourth is a congestion and logistic delay. The traffic and the cross-road congestion lead to the delay, and especially during the peak season. And the five disadvantage is the security risk. Ongoing the risk from the cyber threat and the smuggling operation is facing the recognition investment. And the last disadvantage for the literature review is the environmental and emission issue. The diesel operation equipment contribute to the air pollution, affect the healthy and the sustainability. Next, I move on to the recommendation for literature review. The first is digging the of largest vessel. The digging the terminal berth will allow to the accommodate the largest vessel, making it more activity to more major shipping line. The second is infrastructure expansion. Adding a more gantry crane, larger storage yard, and the integrating automation technology will help the managing the increasing cargo volume, reduce the congestion. The third is modelizing the equipment, upgrading to the energy efficiency machinery and automation system will improving the efficiency and reduce the long-term operation cost. The fourth is improving the transportation link, enhancing the road and rail network and implementing the efficiency traffic management will reduce the congestion and speed up freight flow. The five is strengthening the security investment and advanced service surveillance, cyber security, and measurement and staff training will be reduce the risk related to the cyber threat and smuggling. The sixth is embracing the sustainable practice. Implement a shore power for vessel using the electric or hybrid cargo handling equipment and monitoring the emission will improving the environmental sustainability. The seventh is integrating the digital technology using the blockchain system and the digital document system will be increase the transparency, improving the compliance and reduce the paperwork. The last is the collaboration for the sustainability growth. Partnering with the government agency and stakeholder security, founding the support sustainability project will ensure the long term and the sustainability in the port operation. The next is the methodology and research design. The first research approach is using the quantitative method. Quantitative methods is the systematic approach to analyzing a measurable variable and identify the pattern using the statistic tools. This method objectively evaluating the sustainability in the port operation, development at the MBCT Pulau Pinang, and based on the numerical data such as operational expense and the sustainability indicator. The data collection, primary data sources, we can structure the survey questionnaire, distribute to the Google form to the staff member of MBCT. The second is a case law and regulation to understanding the legal and regulatory framework related to the port operation and the sustainability. The secondary resources is the book and journal article to review existing literature on the port operation, sustainability practice, and the related case study. The next is a new publication and the case study analyzed about the in the maritime sector and the port operation. The next is a method and resources. This research using the quantitative approach to evaluating the port operation and the sustainability practice at the MBCT Pulau Pinang. The research process including the formulating the problem statement, setting the objective, reviewing the literature review, and designing the structure object questionnaire. And data will be collected using the cross-end survey question like link scale, multiple choice, and yes no via Google Form. The tools used including the internet online survey platform and the data analysis software such as Microsoft Excel, SPSS, and the source including the both primary data survey from the respondent, legal document, and the secondary data journal, news, report, and website. Responsive response then from the MBCT staff will be analyzed using the descriptive statistic, mean, median, standard deviation each other throughout the SPSS enabling efficiency and thus accurate interpretation. The study applies simple random sampling targeted 229 respondents from the total population of 538 MBCT staff to ensuring the fair representation across the department. And this method minimizing the bias and improving their validation and generalization by the combining survey data with the published material. This study provides a strong evidence for the understanding MBCT operational performance, and the sustainability development effort.
Now I will present about my framework for my FYP final year project. The first is the not butterworth container is the main title, and I separate in the two objectives. The first is analyzing the port operation. Port operation is the objective one, and the objective one I separate in the six subtitle. The first is the infrastructure and facility. The second is the operation procedure. The third is the port operation, port service. The fourth is the operational bottleneck. The five is the port capacity and expansions need. The last is the technological gap. and the second objective is to identify the sustainability development and development practice. From this objective, I separate in the four pillar. The first is the economy, the second is the environmental, the third is the social, the last is the culture.
The next is a practice consideration. The first is a data limitation. Lack of the historical sustainability data in the Malaysia container terminal limit benchmark opportunities. The second is the questionnaire design. Must be clear and relevant, and the measurable pilot testing, link scale, and the reliability check are essential. The next is the time consideration. Staff ability may be limit offering the survey online or during the shift changes can improving the response rate. The next is awareness clarify. The respondent must be understand the importance of the survey sustainability concept to ensure the accurate feedback. The next is the operations flexibility. Data collection must be adapt to the part schedule and the operational demands. The next is expert input. The regular feedback from the sustainability expert and logistic professional enhancing the research quality and help the manage the unforeseen issue. The conclusion is the conclusion, despite the challenging, careful planning and a flexible execution, will support the meaningful evidence-based finding at the MBCT. The next, I move on to the analysis and discussion part.
The next is the data collection section. The section A is the respondent demography. The first figure is the gender distribution of the staff. Now I move on to the education level pie chart. Based on the pie chart, show the around the 68 respondent representing the 69.4% of the total have the Bachelor of Degree. This means the MBCT have the well educated workforce. The next is the 80 respondent show the representing the 18.4% having of the total having the high school qualification like working in the technical or support role. The last is the 12 people, a 12 respondent representing a 12.2% of the total having a master degree properly holding in the management area or special position. The next, I move on to the involvement in the sustainability initiative at MBCT. Based on the chart, show the not in around the 47 respondent representing the 48% is not involved in any susceptibility in intensive. The next is the economic susceptibility. Around the 80 respondent around representing the 80.4% if is involved in the economic susceptibility. The next is the social and susceptibility. Around the 17 respondent representing the 17.3% involved in the social susceptibility. The next is the 9 9 respondent representing the 9.2% if involved in the culture and culture susceptibility. The last is a 7 respondent representing a 7.1 if involved in the environmental susceptibility.
Now I will present a data analysis for the objective one. The objective one is to analyze the port operation at the not Butterworth Container Terminal MCT Pulau Pinang. So let me present a descriptive statistic result for question 1 until the question 7 based on the 98 valid respondent. Firstly, we look the mean value. The mean value or the average score ranks from the 2.77 for the question 2 and to the 3.33 for the question 6. This suggests the on average most respondent rate the item around the neutral or slightly agree level on the link scale. Next, we look at the median and mood value. Both of the median and mood value are 3.0 for the all question, which indicated the center tenderly around the midpoint of the scale, showing the consistent in the responses. Now, we move on to the standard deviation, which the measurable how the separate up the respondent are. The standard deviation range from the 0.866 to the 0.981. This highest variance variance from is the C in the question 1 with the standard deviation from the of the 0.81 0.981 when the last variance is the question 7 at the 0.6866. The values are below the one source, suggesting the responses are not widely spread and relative consistent. Lastly, we look at the variance, which is simply the square of the standard deviation. The higher variance is for the question 1 at the 0.963 and the lowest is for the question 4 at the 0.742. This again confirm the most variance response were in the question 1 and the question 4, showing the most consistent responses. In the summary, this is table show the most respondent had the consistent and neutral to agree the rating across all items with a slight variance between the question. Now I will share the result of a reliability test. The test we conduct using our data set. The firstly, we are had a total of 98 valid respondent, no data we excluded, so we are working with a complete step. The next is that we are check the how the reliable our item are using the Chronobar Alpha. The result show was 0.906, which is very consistent. Is consistent very strong. This tell us the item that the 36 item in our study is consistent and measurable the same concept well. In the short, our data is complete and the item is using in the questionnaire is very high reliable. The given the confidence in the using data set for the future analysis. The next, I will explain the result of the normality test, which we are using the use this to determine whether the data collection from the respondent follow the other normal distribution. We are using the two statistic tests. The first is the Commongraph Simero. The second is a Shapiro week, which is more suitable for the small item, small sample size under the 200. Like our data set is the of 98 respondent. For all five variable will be test is the first is the gender, the second is the department at MBCT, the third is the year of in the maritime industry, the fourth is the education level, the fifth is involvement in the sustainability initiative. The p-value in the both tests are less than 0.05. This means the data set is not following the normal distribution for the any this of the this demographic variable. In other words, We reject the null hypothesis for the normality test for the all five variables. Now I will explain the data analysis for the objective. Two is the identify the sustainability development in the port operation at the North Butterworth Container Terminal Pulau MBCT Pulau Pinang. So now I will explain the descriptive analysis for the sustainability pillar assessed at the MBCT. The sustainability is divided into the four pillars. The first is environmental sustainability. The second is economic sustainability. The third is the social and cultural sustainability. And the last is the technology innovation sustainability. The first is the environmental sustainability is which session is which cover the question one until the question six. The means value ranks from the 3.14 to the 3.33, including indicating the moderate agreement on the important for implementation of environmental practice. The standard deviation value range from the 0.780 to the 0.931, and the variance from the 0.609 to the 0.866 suggests a fairly consistent set of respondents with a slight more variance in the question one. The means and mode of for the all question is the in this section is 3, showing the center tenderly around the neutral of moderate response. Next, I move on to the economic sustainability section on from the question 7 to the question 12. This means value are slightly higher here between the 3.35 and the 3.43, indicating that respondents generally agree a more positive with this statement related to the economic sustainability. The standard deviation is quickly low between the 0.773 and the 0.865, which the value is as lower as 0.526, meaning the respondents are more tightly clustered and consistent. Again, the board for median and mode are remained at 3, showing the uniformity. The next, I move on to the social and the cultural sustainability section from the the question 13 to the question 18. Here are the means value range from the 3.21 to the 3.40, showing the mix of moderate and staying light, the positive respondent. The standard deviation goes is higher as 0.873, and the variance is higher as 0.7762, which means the light, the more variance in how the respondent preface social and cultural sustainability compared to the economic factor. Still, the center measurable, median, and mode are still stable at the 3. Finally, for the technology innovation sustainability, including the including which including including Q19 and question 19 to the question 24. The mean value are fairly steady between the 3.16 and the 3.41, showing the moderated agreement to the ones that related the sustainability practice. The standard deviation is consistent between the 0.769 and the 0.835, which the variance is lower set here remain from the 0.59592 to the 0.698, indicating the very consistent responses. The median and mode is again steady at the 3 across the all question. Now I move on to the discussion part. Now I present a discussion. The first is overall performance. MBCT need to demonstrate the moderate level of the sustainability. When the port is internal operation approach to be strong, there are clear weakness in the awareness, communication, and modernization to that need to be addressed a future improvement. The first is the operation performance. Most staff express the confidence in the cargo handling and the operational procedure which is positive significant. However, there are issues with the outdated equipment and occasional operation delay. To enhance the efficiency, MBCT should upgrading the infrastructure and the technology. The next is the environmental sustainability. The respondents show that many staff are unsure about the green innovative such as the using the of crane, electric crane or emission control system. This suggestion and lack of the communication and visibility regarding the port environmental effort. The ability should consistently increasing the awareness throughout the sign, sign the internal campaign and the training program. The next is economic sustainability. The respondent acknowledge the ability play a role in the job creation and the trade support. However, many staff are unclear about how the port benefit the local economy and more boundary. So the ABCT should communicate is the economic impact more clearly both internally and to the surrounding community. The next is social and cultural sustainability. Over the Over the 15 of respondents given the neutral responses when asked about the community engagement and the staff welfare. This may mean the CSR program exist but are not well publicized or the communicated. So the MBCT need to improve their engagement effort and highlight the its social contribution more effective. The next is a technology and innovation sustainability. Some respondents note the progress in areas like cargo tracking and automation. However, the majority are unclear about the future technology plan or opportunity for the training. So the MBCT this show the MBCT need to share the digital roadmap or provide the regular tech related the training to the staff. In the conclusion, the IBCT has solid foundation, but to advance in the sustainability effort is must enhance the communication and awareness, modernize its operation, and the better innovation and inform the staff and their local community.
In conclusion, the study covered the four pillars like economy, environmental, social culture, and the technology. So MPCT operations are stable, but some system and equipment need to improvement. The economic sustainability is strong, but benefit to the local business need to clear community communication. And environmental effort are unclear to the staff due to the lower visible and improved awareness. And the social and community support is not well recognized by the employee, and the technology used and the staff training, if untrained, need to better communication. Every city should improving the communication rates, awareness, and innovation, the new technology in the MBCT.
Next is the reference I using for my final year project. And next, this is the Gantt chart for my final year project one. Next is the my Gantt chart for my final year project two.